The KP001GZ. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this device. It's about the ultimate cordless planer from Makita in the 18-volt segment. For those of you who say, I prefer the 40-volt system, or also, the power of this already very solid cordless planer is not sufficient for me, I have exactly the right thing for you today. Namely, it's about an even more powerful device, specifically the 40-volt counterpart from Makita, namely the KP001GZ. What we can really expect from this new 40-volt cordless planer from Makita, what it has to offer, how it performs in the test, and whether it's worth the investment or not, we'll take a closer look at in today's video. So let's get started right after the intro, but if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel quickly now and activate the bell to not miss any videos in the future. The current prices to support this channel can be found below in the video description. Thank you very much for your support, and with that, let's get started after the intro. In today's video, we're not talking about this 18-volt cordless planer from Makita, the KP001GZ, because I already introduced this device to you in a previous video separately. If you haven't seen the video, definitely check it out. I'll link it up in the top right corner of the info card. Because in today's video, it's about the even more powerful device, the 40-volt counterpart, the KP001GZ. Also a compact 82mm cordless planer with several features and a 40-volt drive. What we can really expect from this cordless planer, we'll take a close look at in today's video. For this reason, I would say let's first take a look at what's included in the scope of delivery. Let's see what really comes with it. From the product box, we naturally get first all the paperwork, meaning the user manual, safety instructions, and the like. Next is a parallel or edge guide. Also included is another small cardboard box, a measuring gauge, and not to forget, of course, the actual cordless planer, the masterpiece, the KP001GZ. As you can see, the scope of delivery of the 40-volt model is very similar to the 18-volt model. Nevertheless, everything necessary is included to put the cordless planer into operation. The only thing we, of course, still need here is a 40-volt battery. You either have to already own one or buy it separately. For this reason, I would say let's now switch from the scope of delivery to the actual cordless planer so we can take a detailed look at it. Starting with the exterior, here it really doesn't require many words. It's well known that Makita's 40-volt devices are extremely precise and high quality, meaning there are no plastic remnants, clean edges. The device gives an extremely durable and robust first impression. Also, regarding the size and weight, I must admit I'm pleasantly surprised. At first glance, the 40-volt device is not significantly larger or heavier than the 18-volt model. Specifically, we have a total length of around 340 millimeters, with the cordless planer weighing about 3,130 grams on its own. However, that's not all, of course. For operation, we naturally need a 40-volt battery, which we can insert into the battery compartment at the back of the device. In my case, I have a 40-volt 4-ampere-hour battery, or if we really want to maximize power or endurance, then we need a dual-row 40-volt battery. This means 40 volts, 8 ampere-hours, bringing us to a formidable weight of a whopping 5,000 grams. And I believe you'll agree with me, the look of this planer with the large 40-volt battery is truly intimidating, and since the battery planer naturally rests on the surface, the high weight here itself is not a problem. Connected to this is a very nicely large handle on the top for transporting and mainly for guiding the machine. It's very comfortably grippable, ergonomically shaped, sufficiently large, and has, as you can see, a large rubberized surface in black everywhere, ensuring high slip resistance. Easily accessible from here, both for right and left-handers, the main controls. This includes a continuous bolt as a thumb release and, directly below it, the large trigger for activating the machine. Through the handle, the controls can be easily reached in practice, as mentioned earlier, without the need to reposition the hand, allowing for very good guidance of the machine. This is emphasized by the front button for adjusting the planing depth. Just like with the 18-volt model, the button on the front is sufficiently large, fully rubberized, and can be gripped easily and securely. Also, you see this here. The setting is very, very well marked, meaning we can always read the corresponding planing depth without difficulties. What is undoubtedly special about the Makita KP001GZ 40V is, of course, the brute power. The cordless planer is powered by a powerful brushless motor, as you can see here at the bottom. The motor is centrally located in the housing, drives the cutter drum on the underside via a belt. As you can see, in this case, it's a cutter drum with 2 reversible blades. This means we have a higher removal rate and thus greater progress in the work. For adjusting the blades, as already mentioned, there's a blade adjustment gauge included directly in the standard delivery, so we can align the blades optimally. And of course, to remove the blades in the first place, there is, also integrated directly on the device, a small hexagonal socket wrench. With this, we can loosen the screws and dismantle the blade accordingly. The most important thing, of course, is not to forget the planing width, and this is still an 82mm cordless planer, just like the 18-volt model. The 2 base or glide plates have a width of 76mm, and also extremely practical. As you can see on the front glide plate, we have 3 V-grooves for light, medium, and heavy chamfering of workpieces. The front base plate, equipped with foam to prevent as little dirt as possible from getting into the interior of the cordless planer, can be moved up and down by the rotary knob, allowing us to adjust the planing depth. What makes this brute device so special is also the enormous planing depth. Specifically, the planing depth can be adjusted in 1mm increments from 0 to a maximum of 4mm. In practice, I tested the cordless planer in conjunction with a large 40-volt 8Ah battery, which I'd fully charged in advance, and brand new sharp blades on a 75mm wide wooden beam. I raised the planing depth in increments of 0.5mm for each pass, carefully observed the results after each operation, and assessed the surface quality. I raised the planing depth in 0.5mm increments for the first passes of 0.5, 1, and 1.5mm, and I could absolutely find no difficulties with this planer. The planer operates at an idle speed of 15,000 revolutions per minute, and even during fast passes, where I applied significant pressure to the planer, I could not detect any power or speed drops, and the surface quality remained consistently high throughout this test. In the range of 2.5 to 3mm, the planer continued to excel due to its high performance. However, I observed a slight decrease in speed in this range, albeit minimal. Nevertheless, the power remained consistently high and the surface quality remained very good even with significant progress. Finally, in the maximum range of 3.5 to 4mm, I must admit I was pleasantly surprised at how well the planer handled this maximum takeoff. Even at 4mm, the maximum takeoff, the planer showed no significant power drops. It maintained a clean cut, and even at reduced speed, the surface quality remained extremely good. For this reason, I pushed the limits and tested the planer on hardwood, specifically oak. Again, raising the planing depth in 0.5mm increments, I found that the planer performed very well across the entire planing depth range from 0.5 to 4mm in hardwood. This means that the speed at which the planer operates needs to be significantly reduced, but the surface quality remained consistently good even in the 4mm range. By the way, after the extensive practical test, the battery still showed a remaining capacity of 4 out of 4 bars, which is probably not surprising given the size of this massive battery. Therefore, I would say let's move on to the final conclusion. I would argue that not many words are needed here. The test results speak for themselves. The Makita KP001GZ is a professional cordless planer with numerous features, a very high takeoff, and brute power for the most demanding requirements. So my recommendation is for those who want to truly maximize the potential of a battery planer. And now, over to you. What are your thoughts on this 40-volt battery planer from Makita? Feel free to share your opinion, experiences, or questions in the comments below. I'm eager to hear your feedback. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video, please show your support by giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, quickly subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell to ensure you don't miss any future videos. You can find the prices to support this channel in the video description below. Thank you for your support, and with that, take care until next time. Goodbye.